Hello everyone, I'm back with another card today. Glad to be back with you. I was absent last week. My filming schedule will probably be a little bit sporadic for the next month because my husband's having hip replacement surgery next week, and so who knows what's all going to be involved in that. But today, first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Sherry Minnie. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live in a rural town called Keensburg, Colorado, which is about 45 miles northeast of Denver. We live on a farm and set up on a hill and have beautiful views of our wonderful Rocky Mountains. So today, here is the card that we're doing, and it's just kind of a cute card. It's kind of appropriate for us because we do have a few head of cattle, and we are right now in the middle of calving season, so that's always a fun time. But here's our little card, and this is going to be for a gentleman from our church who used to have a dairy. And so it's his birthday. He's going to be 82, and so here's the little card that I made for him for his birthday. So what we're using in this card is a fun little set that is carrying over into the new annual catalog. Most of you should be getting your new catalogs if some of you haven't already gotten it. I will tell you that you will notice it's a very different looking catalog than what we're used to in the past, and I'm still working with it, and I found lots of things to order, but I'm still working on the new layouts and that kind of stuff. So we're using the bundle that's called the Cutest Cows, and it's the stamp set and a matching cow builder punch. We are using a lot of different stamps out of this. I just think it's a really cute little stamp, and I love the cows, and the punch is very handy. We'll also be using a cloud punch. This one is retiring, but I'm going to keep it because I like it for the clouds in any project that I do. We are also using the embossing folder called Timber, and it is a 3D, and this one is carrying over. We are using colors. We're using the Memento Black, Granny Apple Green, and a little bit of Real Red. This card is probably going to take us a little longer than normal because we are going to do a little bit of coloring. So I have numerous blends here. These are Smoky Slate. These are Copper Clay. I have a Petal Pink. I have two markers, the Basic Black, and I believe this one is the Lemon Lolly. So we'll have a little bit of coloring to do. In your packet, you have, in your envelope, you will have a card base, which is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. You have a inside piece, which again is 4 by 5 1/4. That'll be for the inside. For the front layer, you have another piece of this is Balmy Blue, and it is 4 by 5.5. You'll have a piece of Real Red, and this one measures 2.5 by 4, and I have ran it through the Timber embossing folder. I think you can probably, can't tell if you can see, yeah, you can see a little bit of it, okay? And you'll have a couple of pieces of white for some stamping. You'll have several 1/4-inch pieces for the boards on our barn door, and then a piece of Granny Apple Green that we're going to make into our grass, okay? So I think what we'll do first of all, we will start out and get some of our stamping done. We'll be taking the Memento Black, and we're going to take, I'm going to do the little cow, the cow that's on the envelope. We're going to do that one first. And I may not do all of the coloring just so that for time's sake, because I know this is going to get kind of long, and I don't want it to have you spend too much of your time, but it is a cute little card, and I love it. I'm making several of them to have in my stash. I do try to send birthday and anniversary cards to everyone that's in my church, and so I go through a ton of cards. Okay, and now we're going to do, if you'll notice on this stamp set, there are like 3 different little heads that you can use, and I'm going to use the one here that's sleeping. If I can make sure I find it. No, it's not that one. I've got them all laid out here. Here we go. Here's the one that's sleeping, I think. If not, we may be using a different, we may have a different cow, but I think this is it. And you just have to kind of line this up to the best of your ability and just kind of leave it there and let the ink soak into the paper. Okay, and there's that. Now let's see, we need on our, our little pieces of paper, we need to do our other head, which is this one. This is the one that matches the punch. It only the punch only matches one cow body and one face. And I'm going to punch this out so that we can kind of conserve our paper. So here's our punch. I'm going to turn it over. And I'm going to put our little cow, the head in. And now the way I line mine up is I push down just maybe a quarter of a way down just to kind of hold it so it doesn't move. And then I can adjust it to make sure that it's lined up the way I like it to be lined up, and then I just turn it over and punch. And you're going to get some extra little pieces in with this, but that's okay. They can just go in the trash. Okay. And I apologize for my squeaky chair. I bought a new one, still squeaks, so I hope it doesn't annoy you too much. All right. And then we'll do the body. And I'm just going to stamp that right up above the one I did previously. Again, holding it down because I like this black to really soak into the paper. Okay, now I think I'll have to trim a little bit of this off to get it into my punch. And I will do the same here. And I have a little bit of a handle on this side so I can grip it, and I will again line up my punch, double check it. Okay, and I'll turn it over and I'm going to punch, and there's my other part, and then all of this can just go in the trash. Okay, now for the inside piece, first of all, let's finish the front. So you need one cloud. So I will just be punching out a cloud. And on that, we will be stamping the holy cow. I just got to find it. There it is. Now, if you notice on the sample, I kind of pushed it over and cut part of the cloud over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of stamp it over on this side. And we'll go from there. Okay. I don't think I got that very straight. I don't like that one, but I have paper, so we will punch out another one. Did any of you see the eclipse yesterday? I actually went out. We only had about 60% here in Colorado, but I did go out, and I always find that very interesting. I went out, and I didn't watch the whole thing. I just went out every few minutes. My daughter-in-law and 3 of my granddaughters actually drove from here 15 hours to someplace in Missouri where they got to see total eclipse. I said, well, you girls go ahead and do that. I've seen one in my lifetime. But they had a good time doing it. There, that's much better. I like that much better. Okay, so now we have that. We have that. So now we're going to work on the inside. Oh, and you know what? I realized I forgot one ink pad. I'll be right back. Actually, I don't need the ink pad because I do the coloring. The gray is with a marker, so I have those. So here's our inside. We're going to take our black ink again. And I'm going to stamp the milk can down here in the corner. Again, holding it down. Okay. And then I have a tiny little flower that we're going to have coming out of this milk can. And if you see the top of my head, I apologize. Okay, that takes care of that. Now we're going to work on our sentiment, and it is one that says, "It's your special day." And I'm going to type. I am not typing. I am going to stamp this up fairly close to the top and try to get it straight. There we go. It could be a little darker, but that's okay. It'll work for today. And then we are going to take I think we're done with the black right now. And I'm going to take the real red to kind of tie the front in because we're going to have the red barn door. And I'm going to say, "Milk it for all it's worth." And our friend will appreciate this because he spent many, many years milking. Okay, there we go. The inside is all done. Now there's only one more little bit of stamping that we have to do, and for that we'll use this little grass stamp, and we will use the Granny Apple Green. But first of all, we have to work on our little strip that's going to be the grass right along here. So the little strip that you have of the Granny Apple Green, you want the side that you're going to have up towards you, and we're actually just going to do the tearing technique, and we're just going to, if I can get this started, I had such a hard time yesterday. We're going to tear it towards us because that kind of gives us a ruffled, rough edge like grass might be. And just going to bring it all the way towards me. I'm really kind of keeping this one kind of straight, because if you're in the pasture, it'll be fairly level. It won't be real up and down. Okay, and then I'm going to put this on a piece of scratch paper. This torn part you throw away. And then we take the grass and the Granny Apple Green, and we're just going to kind of fill in with some little spiky things that will look like grass. Some of them might go down, some up. This is something that you can just do however your spirit leads you. This is what you can do. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's very random. Okay, and that's it. And I think we are now done with the stamping. So I'll put this to the side. We're going to work on our barn door. Now you probably can see that I've put some little X's very faintly. Let's see, can you see that with the pencil? I got such a glare in here today that I'm not sure that I can even see what you're seeing. But I have a little X going across here because we're going to put our cross hatches on the door, and I had a hard time getting them straight, so I thought, I'm done messing with this. I'm just going to make some marks. So all we're going to do is we're going to take our glue, and I have a feeling this one has finally decided to bite. Oh, no, there we go. So we're just going to put some little dots all along here. We're going to start on that side, and we're going to take one of our little white pieces and try to get it on the edge. like so. Okay. And then I'll turn it, and I'm going to do the other side exactly the same. Put little dots. Let's see, I have any short ones. And again, line it up. Put it right at the edge, so hopefully you won't have any red sewing. If you do, it's not a super big deal, because no barn door that I've ever been around is perfect. Okay. And now I will take my scissors, and I'm just going to trim this side off even, and do the same thing on this side. Okay. Now we'll take, I think I'll do the crosses. No, I think I'll do the top. So I'm going to do the top, same way. Just put little dots. Put them on the white too, because it's going to go all the way across. And I hope I brought enough strips over here. Looks like maybe I'm not. I didn't. Oops. And again, try to get it as even as you can on the sides and the top. Oops, like I did not do there. Okay. And I will chip this off. And by any chance, would this be long enough to go across? Oh, it will. Perfect, because I think I'm going to be a little short here on. So again, dots. And I will put this right here. And go all the way across. Well, that was almost perfect. Couldn't ask for better than that. Okay. Now, oops, excuse me, I just threw something on the floor and I'm probably going to be needing it, so I will pick it up. So now I'm just going to follow my little lines that I have here so that I make sure, again, we're just doing the dots. Okay, and this one, we take and we put it a little beyond the corner and all the way up to there. And that's our first cross hatch. That's a hard word to say. And I'm not so sure that this is going to fit, but we'll find out. Trim that off. Nope, it's not. Let's see, do I have any white that I could cut 1/4 of an inch off? I don't think I do. Oh, maybe I do. No, but I don't think I have it. Oh, I do. Maybe I won't have to go next door. Perfect. All right, so all we're going to do is, I have a piece of scrap. I have my trimmer. And I'm just going to put this trimmer, and I use it down here at the bottom. And there's the 1/4 inch mark. And I'm just going to cut another 1/4 inch strip. And there we go. That was easy. Okay. We got to scoot along here. This is getting really long. Okay. Now we'll do the same thing. Another row of dots down the middle. Okay. And this can go up here and right down there. And there's our cute little barn door. Okay, so I'll trim this off. I'm really going to try and get some videos filmed and scheduled. I have to learn how to schedule them for a later publishing day, you know, so I can maybe do a video this afternoon for next week. But I haven't learned how to do that yet, and I'm going to have to sit down and figure out how to do that. Because it would help me a lot of times if I could do them in advance. Okay, now, next thing we need is our little, oh no, I'm sorry. So we're going to put this little barn door is going to go on our, like this. Now remember, this card goes this direction, not like this, but like this. So we need to make sure that we're putting everything on in the right orientation, which I have to make myself pay attention to because sometimes I don't do it right. So we're just going to take our stamp and seal. And boy, I'm almost out. And I am going to place this right down here in the along the bottom and try to get it to match up as best you can. Okay. And then the next thing we do is we're going to put our grass right along here. And I did make this extra long. And I'm going to actually put my glue on my blue piece so that I don't have glue all over my fingers. Okay. And then we can take our cloud, which has got to be hiding here somewhere. There it is. And I'm going to put it kind of up at the top, and I'm going to trim off part of it. So we will just take this and do some stamp and seal and decide where we want to put it. And I think that we're just about right there. And I will put that down, and then we will clip both of these off. There goes our grass. And here goes our cloud. Okay. And then the next thing we need to do is put our cow together. But first of all, we have to do some coloring. So what I'm going to do is I'll color the cows. The rest of them I don't think I will because it's going to just take too long. But I have, what is this one? This is dark copper clay, and that's what I used for the cow's tail and his spots. Now my husband likes this stamp set, but we have, all of our cows are Black Angus, and they are totally black. They have no white whatsoever. And he's always saying to me, how come they don't make a stamp set that's not, we would call this a Holstein cow. Why don't we have a stamp set that isn't a Holstein? Well, I could make this and just punch it out and make it all black and maybe put some white highlights on it. But I kind of like the Holstein thing. So that's what we're going to do there. Just very gently. And then for the face, the only thing let's see, so I did the top part, and then down to his nose in this color. Actually, this, okay. And then I think that's it for the brown. Well, while I'm doing this, I could just real quickly. Now, if you ever use your blends, if you have blends and you use them on your envelope, they do have a tendency to bleed through. So if I'm doing an envelope, I always stick a piece of paper in there. Most of the time they won't bleed through on the envelope, but I don't like to take a chance. I don't want it having color on the back of it, so I just do that. And again, I just colored this little cow the same way I did the one in the front. And I'm not even going to finish because you guys know you've seen me color, and we've colored in class before. Okay, so then that takes care of that. Now we will do, I've got to do his little, to do the face here. And I've got my things all messed up. So For that, I've got Petal Pink Dark Blend. If you don't know, the blends come in light and dark shades, and actually I'm going to try and use the brush end, and they come with a brush end or a bullet point, and I'm going to try and use the brush. This will dry a little bit lighter than what it's showing up here, and then I put a little bit in its ears just to kind of, okay, all right, so that, oh, and then one other thing, we need to take the black marker, and again I'm going to use the bullet end on this. We have to do his little hooves. So I can't talk and color at the same time. I do like to color, but it's not my most favorite thing, but I don't hate it. Some people just hate having to color. Okay, that takes care of that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take and fold up our card base, which I didn't do before I came over here. Normally I do that, but I did not. So we'll just take our bone folder, push it down. We'll take, and remember, we're going this direction. I almost started to do it the other way. It's hard because I don't do very many cards this way, so you get kind of in a habit. And we're going to put some Stampin' Seal along here. And you'll have a little bit of a border. Try to get this on somewhat straight. Now, the one thing I can probably do that I haven't even figured out yet, if I really wanted to, I could put like a latch on here. I don't really have a stamp or a die set that I've figured out yet that I could use for, but I'll come up with something and I'll just put a black, some kind of closure on so the door would be closed, okay? Let's take our inside and put it, so I'm not going to take the time to color this, but I used these blends, and I used these for the flowers. So you can see here, I used the grays on the milk can, and then I just colored in the little flower, but I'm not going to do that because this video is getting entirely too long. So I'm going to do that before I adhere this in here. I will do the coloring, okay? Okay, now the only thing we really have left to do is put on our little cow. And where did she go? Here she is. All right, and so I'm going to, did I pop her up? Oh, I did. All right, we're going to pop her up. I kind of started doing something that I should have. So I'm going to take some of the larger ones. Dimensionals. These are dimensionals. And I think I'll put a small one right here on her rump. Okay. Oh, actually, that's her front. I had it upside down, so that's the front of the cow. And we will take our pokey tool, take this off. This is an old retired pokey tool, but I have several of them, and I'm like, they still work. I'm going to use it. But I sometimes, in my studio, I use my pick tool. All right. Now we're going to put her down here in the grass because she just came out of the barn and she is ready to eat. And we're going to put some more dimensionals. I had cut these in half when I ran out of little ones, the minis, but I do have minis now, but we'll just use these. So we're going to put one of the halves on her ears, and then one of the big ones in her head. And again, I'll take my pokey tool. Take all of that off. And I will put her little head on. You could make her even looking up if you could put her on however you want. I'm going to do it straight. Okay? Do a little bit of cleaning up here. So again, only thing I did not do is I didn't color in the inside like I have on my sample. So it'll end up looking like that. And then everything on the front we did. And then the other thing I did is I only partially colored the envelope, but it will eventually end up looking like this one. Okay? So here we go. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed that. I have fun making this. Like I say, I'm making several of them. It's just a cute, fun little card. I hope you have a wonderful day. I thank you so much for taking your time, whether it be daytime or evening, to spend it with me and watch this video. It is longer than one I would normally do. And as usual, if you need any supplies or find this to be something you might like to order, you can go to my online store at sherrymini.stampinup.net. This card and all the details will be on my blog shortly under simplylovestampin.com. So have a wonderful time. God bless each and every one of you, and I'll see you real soon.